The Idea of You is the brand new Prime Video original movie that just hit the streaming service around a couple of weeks ago, but I finally got a chance to check it out the other night. I'm here to break it down here on this review. The Idea of You is a new movie based off of a best-selling novel. This movie stars Anne Hathaway as a newly turned 40-year-old single mother. She runs an art gallery, but when her ex-husband declines due to work reasons to take her daughter, and their friends to Coachella. Instead, Hathaway's character of Solen takes the kids to Coachella, and she does a meet cute with mid-20s-year-old pop star Hayes, played by Nicholas Galitzine, and they go off on an adventure. How can they balance maybe being a romance from both an age gap reasons, for being a single mother reasons, and also how much pressure is put on this family? The film is an hour and 55 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Mac Denberg. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. I talk movies, TV shows, and box office daily here, so please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. First of all, have you read the book of The Idea of You? If you've seen the movie, did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it for you? What could have changed for you to like the movie? Or have you not even seen this yet, or even know this was on Prime Video right now? So please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. So The Idea of You movie, if you know me personally, even if you've been following this channel for 4 years now, the rom-com genre is definitely not one of my favorites. I think it's one of the most not lazy genres, but it's movies where it feels like every rom-com has to follow the same formula. And it's so hard in this genre to pop nowadays because a lot of this is one of the safest, I was gonna say, one of the safest genres out there. And that's why you haven't seen a lot of rom-coms even in theaters anymore. And now it's just been really relegated to just streaming service movies. So I wasn't excited about the movie, but let's get into my thoughts. And this is one of the weirdest experiences that I've had watching a movie, because when the movie ended, I think I really did not like the movie. And there's definitely, this movie is a very flawed film, but I slept on it. I made some thoughts about what happened in the movie, and I appreciated what the storytelling and really the character work and performances that were going on in this movie. So with this movie, the best part about the film is the dynamic between Hathaway and Galitzine. Now, yes, and hopefully I'm saying his name right. Yes, the movie brings up the age gap a lot, of course, in the movie, but it's not really the key point of conflict in the movie. It's actually not a conflict at all in the movie. It's more of a personal thing for Solen, played by Hathaway. That's more of a thing for her. She kind of is very self-aware that she's a 40-year-old single mom now dating a 24-year-old pop star. For her, that's in her mind. For him, it's never a thing, and it's never why they have their ups or their downs in the movie. And I think the most beautiful thing about the movie is just it's another love story. These two characters could have been related, but the movie does not run it down the drain that these characters are 16 years apart. And I think the movie did a really smart job at the way of handling the age gap in the movie. But it's really because of the chemistry and the great acting that's on display. Obviously, Anne Hathaway is a terrific actress. She's been doing it for over 2 decades now. She's phenomenal in this movie as well. She definitely has the most character work to do. But I think the most thing I was shocked about was Hayes, the character of Hayes, because on paper, he's just a 24-year-old pop star who's thrown into this situation just because he likes this person. But as the movie, moves on, you can really feel why he's attracted to someone like her. Yes, she's 40, but it's more of the things that she's offering. What I mean by that is the idea of you is also the fact that he is more than a pop star. Everyone in the world sees this person for who they think he is, and he has to play that character on a daily basis. But for him, he has his own personal things that make him who he is, and it's being brought out by Solen in the movie. And I think that's a beautiful thing that the movie does very well. And it comes through both in the writing, the character work, and in these really excellent performances, because Hathaway clearly, yes, is the lead character of this movie, but he also gets a lot of character work done that I really appreciate. He's not just a one-note pop star who comes in the situation. Another thing I'll say is the movie does have a lot of heart. It has, that's just something I was missing when I was watching it, and then I reflected on it and really understood that it really does come through. The movie is taken care of very well. The film is directed by Michael Showalter, who's becoming one of the more underrated filmmakers in Hollywood right now. He directed 4 episodes of that limited series, The Dropout, but movie-wise, he directed The Eye to Tammy Faye, which obviously got Jessica Chastain an Oscar win, The Lovebirds back in 2020, as well as The Big Sick back in 2017. So he's an underrated filmmaker, and while I think this might be his least funniest movie that he's made, it still has a lot of heart that you see in The Big Sick, for example, or I Love Doris, that movie, or I don't think that's the name of the movie, the Doris movie with Sally Field that was made in 2016. I want to make sure I name this right before I say it again. But Michael Showalter is an excellent filmmaker. He brings to the table here. Hello, My Name is Doris. Sorry, that was another movie that had a lot of heart in it. And this movie has tons of heart in it as well. Now, while I appreciate the chemistry of the actors, the character work that's being done, the movie also just follows the rom-com formula to an absolute T. This movie is so unoriginal at points. Now, what I'll say is that I have not read the book. I am judging this property off of this film. And if this film it went down the rom-com generic way that the book doesn't, I want to hear you guys in the comment section down below. But down to a T, where you could time out when something is going to happen, when the highs of the romance will happen, and then when the lows of the romance will happen. But for me, the biggest problem with the movie, it is so repetitive in the last hour of the film. We go from high to very low, to very high, to very low. And because the movie needs to keep moving, these acts of going from very high in this relationship to very low happen so quickly, out of the blue, that I don't buy it. I think the movie, it is a very fantasy thing. This is definitely not a realistic thing that could ever happen, but the movie did have that kind of authentic feel in the first hour or so of the movie. And then I think the last hour is just rinse and repeat. They're going so well. They're really not going well anymore. Now they're back together. Now they're really not back together. They do this on-off switch like 3 or 4 times during the last hour of the movie. And honestly, I was annoyed. I was very annoyed. I think the movie could have cut 20 minutes out of the movie if it just chose 1 or 2 of the up and down of the relationships in the last hour of the movie. The movie goes for like 4 different times where they're together and then they're not together. I just wish that the movie, this is where it comes down to a writing thing. You got to cut some of the stuff out. And I think the last hour could have been really just the last 40 minutes. And the movie would have come together a lot more smoothly. But it just feels like we've been there, done that with the last hour of the movie. I think it's by far and away the weakness. But also, as I said, it follows the rom-com genre to a T. The twists and turns you can see coming a mile away. The ending you can come seeing a mile away. But I do think it's satisfying enough. So I'm going to give The Idea of You on Amazon Prime a 3 out of 5 stars, 63% for this movie. What are your thoughts on the new movie on Prime Video? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you guys soon.